Welcome, and thank you for watching. This video captures the Stockton Scottish Rite installation of officers for 2026, held on January 27, 2026, at Tracy Masonic Mount Oso Lodge in Tracy, California. We're grateful to everyone who attended and helped make the evening meaningful. Please enjoy.
Boy, you guys gonna be sorry. I'm mic'd up. They let you play with those things? Brother Master of Ceremonies, be pleased to present the Venerable Master-elect, the Wise Master-elect, the Commander-elect, and the Master of Kadash-elect.
My feet, please. It's you guys too. Having fun though.
Oh, that was good.
That'll work now.
Freddie Mercury.
Illustrious sir. Will you get yourself figured out over there?
I'm never figured out.
I have the honor of presenting the Honorable Leland Rout, excuse me, 32nd degree KCCH. Sir Bart Sargenti, 32nd degree. Sir Joseph Schoenleber, 32nd degree, and Brother Jay Santiago, 32nd degree.
Brother Rout, your brethren have seen fit to elect you to be the Venerable Master of the Stockton Lodge of Perfection. Before your investiture, it is necessary that you should signify your assent to certain charges and regulations. I lost my place. There we are. Which define the duty of a master of a lodge of perfection. Listen, therefore, and when you have heard all, please respond. You agree to respect and obey the authorities of ancient and accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, supreme and subordinate according to their stations. To uphold the dignity and honor of the rite and strictly conform to all the edicts of the Supreme Council. You agree that an avowed atheist cannot lawfully be made a Mason, and that any higher body which receives him is necessarily not Masonic. You agree that every Mason should pursue some reputable occupation, should live decorously and decently, and should act with honor, fidelity, and generosity towards all men. You agree to be cautious, to admit none but good men into your lodge, to receive no one who does not do his duty as a Blue Lodge Mason, or is not of good character, intelligent, and respectable. Intelligent? That disqualifies me. I'll see you guys. You agree to be an advocate and supporter of good government, to submit peaceably to the will of the majority when constitutionally and legally expressed, to pay proper respect to the constituted authorities of your country and endeavor to be of service to it and the society in which you live. You promise to be impartial and upright in your seat as master, to be modest in your carriage and behavior, courteous to all men, and faithful to your lodge. Do you submit to these charges and promise to support these regulations?
I do.
Brother, your assent to these charges and regulations justifies the confidence which your brethren have reposed in you, and authorizes me to install you as venerable master of the Stockton Lodge of Perfection. You are to arouse the indolent, encourage the despondent, and invite the unreflecting to do something. The influence which shall not be felt beyond the limits of the lodge, something for the state, something for society, and something for humanity. See to it that their masonry does not evaporate in mere words and vain professions, that they do not lay it aside when they retire from the lodge, that their vows be not vaguely remembered and little regarded. Yeah, I need this now. Charge them to practice out of the lodge those duties taught in it, so that they will need no other achievement with worthy and good men than that they are masons of the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite. Brother Marshall, you will please to invest the venerable master with this jewel. Honor Route, would you please join me up here in front? Yeah, you guys can sit down. No, yeah, please. Oh, no, that's okay. I broke it very well. Brother Sergeant, as wise master, you of course are to preside at all meetings of the chapter Rose Croix and direct its deliberations. This you are to do with dignity, but not haughtily, rudely, or arbitrarily. Rather, with the utmost courtesy, as befits one who has been elected to office by his equals. You will cause a meeting to be held at least annually in honor of the memory of all knights Rose Croix who have died during the year. Should the Stockton bodies elect to exemplify the ceremonies of the mystic feast of Maundy Thursday with the extinguishing of the lights and the relighting of the lights on Easter, it shall be your duty to see that these ceremonies are presented with dignity and precision. And you will never allow your chapter to be called from labor without taking a contribution for charitable purposes. You will, to the utmost of your ability, labor to promote peace, harmony, and good fellowship. You will propagate and diffuse the principles and truths of the degree of Rose. And remember that whatsoever is excellent is not to be obtained without labor or sorrow. That the work of masonry cannot be done negligently or idly, and that in this work one must put forth all his strength. Teach the knights to learn something more than the mere formulas and phrases of the degrees. Persuade them to read the history and study the philosophy of Masonry. Induce them to learn the meaning of the symbols. Show them how, among the mass of Masonic writings, to separate the diamonds from the sands and endeavor to improve them by your conduct and conversation. Do you agree and so promise?
I do.
Brother Marshall. Oh, there you are. You will please invest the master of the Rose Croix, the wise master of Rose Croix, with this jewel. You will be pleased to join me in the seat here to my right. Brother Schoenleber, the work of the Council of Kadash reminds us that the names of victims of cruelty and craft have been legion on the pages of history. Among them, Socrates, who saw the truth and persisted with questions until others were forced to answer truthfully. He, whom an ungrateful populace forced to drink the fatal hemlock. De Molay and his wardens, the victims of despots, who feigned horror at impiety and blackened the character of their victims to justify their murders. And Galileo, who rashly ventured to demonstrate that the earth was not stationary, or the center about which the sun revolved. And those who claimed to be infallible interpreters of God's words imprisoned him. Remember, however, that no king, priest, or mob has ever destroyed truth. Reason never ceases to take an appeal from the judgments of force. Power and craft may curse the truth and call it crime, heresy, and treason. They may distort and pervert it, slander and slay its teachers. But ever the sun shines by day and the stars by night, their light does not die away from the earth. It is the martyrs of political and religious truth who win eternal glory. We may ask, who remembers the names of their executioners? Let me remind you that, while the masonry of the Kadash recalls the death of martyrs and inculcates the principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity, it also maintains the necessity of law and order. Freemasonry rejects the notion that violations of law or private vengeance are to correct social evils. The Kadash, as you know, have no cry of revenge, but say, vengeance is not thine, O Lord, thou wilt repay. Brother Sauratari, your peers and brethren of the Stockton consistory. I think you jumped around. Yeah, I think I've jumped. Brother Marshall, you will be pleased to invest Brother Schoenleber with this jewel. Schoenleber, will you please join us over here to the left? Brother Santiago, your peers and brethren of the Stockton consistory have been pleased to elect you to be their master of Kadash. Wherever there is dignity and honor in office, there is also labor, perplexities, and grave responsibilities. In Masonry, as in every other order or in the state, peace, harmony, and the progress and prosperity of the whole will, in the greatest measure, depend upon the capacity and fidelity of those who govern. In all voluntary societies, the many expect the few to labor, while the many look on. And to the few, this labor must often be its only reward. Expect, therefore, to often find yourself toiling with little assistance. One of the degrees of your body demonstrates that from the earliest of ages, man has had a solid conviction that he has within him a spiritual nature. A soul that is not to die when the body is dissolved, but is to continue to exist and may be admitted to the realms of light and life eternal. Yet another teaches that life is a battle, and that to fight that battle heroically and well is the great purpose of every man's existence. That battle in which our intellect, reason, and moral sense fight against the material and the sensual believing. That you will not faint or become weary in well-doing. I congratulate you upon your election, and I do earnestly hope that you may so preside and govern that it shall be found fortunate for this consistory, and that the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite, that you were elected to the office with which you are now invested. Brother Marshall, you will please invest Brother Santiago with the jewel of this office. Brother Santiago, if you will please join us to the right here. Ladies and gentlemen, I do present our the Master of the Lodge of Perfection, our wise master. I was confused. Wise master, I wasn't so sure. Our wise master. The
Commander of Kadash.
Thank you. The commander of Kadash, I always get it confused. And the master of consistory. Brethren, your offices are next in importance to that of the presiding officer. Oh, wrong ones. Okay, sorry. Brother Master of Ceremonies, please help me. No. Be pleased to present for installation the wardens-elect, first and second lieutenants commander-elect, prior-elect, and preceptor-elect.
You guys in the back as well.
Yeah, go ahead and stand up.
Should I get up?
I have the honor to present for installation for the Lodge of Perfection, Senior Warden Sir David Minshew, Junior Warden illustrious Greg Niskanen, Chapter Rose Croy, Senior Warden Sir John Correa, Junior Warden Sir Frank Chaparro, Council of Kadash, First Lieutenant Commander Sir Ken Hunt, Second Lieutenant Commander Brother Ishmael, Take commission. Did I get it?
Yeah, kind of.
Yes,
Kind
all
of,
right.
we're working on it. And Chancellor,
Let's get him a cheat.
Brother David Nunes. Now, for the consistory. There's only one over there. Brother Saldi, make him.
Brethren, your offices are next in importance to that of the presiding officer of your body. Remember that the efficiency of an executive always must depend upon that of his lieutenants. Always, if the latter are incapable, unfaithful, or lukewarm, his labors, besides being largely and unjustly increased, will to a great extent prove unavailing. You have it in your power to secure the harmonious cooperation of all in advancing the great purposes of the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite. In the absence of the chief of your body, you will succeed to the higher duties. Your acquaintance with the statutes of the Supreme Council, with the history, symbols, philosophy of Masonry should be as extensive as his. I especially give it to you in charge to reconcile dissensions, should any arise, among the fellow soldiery of the holy house of the temple. Teach the brethren with precept and example to bear with the infirmities of each other, and especially to be aware of obstinacy and pride of opinion, out of which grow most difficulties among men and masons. You may be seated. Brother Master of Ceremonies, be pleased to present the orator elect, or excuse me, the almoner elect.
Almoner. Almoner.
You say almoner?
Almoner.
Yeah, that's you. My proxy's got you. Illustrious sir, I have the honor of presenting illustrious Rich Garcia, who has been appointed almoner for the ensuing term.
Illustrious Brother Garcia, the deputy of the Orient of California has seen fit to appoint you as almoner to dispense their charities. Few men look upon distress and suffering without emotions of sympathy and pity, but few are instant in seeking those out that they may relieve them. That which is the common duty of all, too often is neglected by many. Also, the most deserving cases of need and destitution are often those who seek concealment and suffer in silence. It is your particular duty to seek out worthy objects of charity of our bodies, to visit the homes of the sick, the widow, and the orphan, and to minister them, comfort them, and consolation, belong to the mission and duties of Freemasonry, and is that in which man most resembles God. Brother Master of Ceremonies, Brother Marshall, you will please invest the almoner with this jewel.
I know it's kind of weird going back and forth. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right, my bad. Brother Garcia, Brother Marshall, please escort Brother illustrious Garcia to his place in the lodge. Brother Master of Ceremonies, be pleased to present the treasure for installation. Wow.
Illustrious Sir, I have the honor of presenting Sir Ryan Hansen, who has been appointed treasurer for this term.
Sir Hansen, you have been appointed to the office of treasurer by the deputy of the Orient of California. As treasurer of these bodies, it will be your duty to receive all monies from the secretary, make due entry thereof, and pay them out by order of the Lodge of Perfection. These duties are important and impose responsibility. Nothing so certainly results in the ruin of a Masonic body as confusion and disorder in its financial affairs. For by such its energies are crippled, its good intentions defeated, its debts increased, and dissatisfaction and ill feeling are bred among its members. Slight irregularities and trivial relaxations lead at last to grave offenses. Your faithful performance of your duties will entitle you to the good opinion and gratitude of your brethren. Brother Marshall, please invest the treasurer with his jewel and escort him to his seat in the lodge. Brother Master of Ceremonies, be pleased to present the General Secretary for installation. You want to stay there?
Got it?
Okay. I was just asking. He's had this major surgery, you know. Oh, wow. I like it. Brother Honorable Hobber, you have been appointed as secretary by the deputy of the Orient of California of this lodge and chapter, recorder of the council, and register of the consistory. It will be your duty to keep the minutes and accurately record all the transactions of these bodies. Receive and take charge of all papers that are to be laid before them. Make out and transmit all returns and reports to the Supreme Council. Receive all monies to the lodge, keep a just and true account thereof, and pay these over to the treasurer. Accurately and punctuality are qualities which your offices especially require. I am confident that you will perform your duties as to merit the esteem and thanks of your brethren. Brother Marshall, please invest the General Secretary with the jewel of his office and escort him to a seat. Brother Master of Ceremonies, be pleased to present the appointive officers of each body, announcing their names and respective offices.
Illustrious Sir, please stand when your name is called. Assistant General Secretary, Sir Bart Sargenti. Expert, Sir Matt Dew. Assistant Almoner, Brother Angel Sandoval. See? He's right here. I think he's split. Chaplain, Honorable Tosh Saruvatari. Tyler, Brother Bob Bussman. These gentlemen have been appointed in all of these positions, like that, for the ensuing year.
Wow, there I thought he was going to just lay him out there. My brother, it is necessary that every Mason should consider that, since God has given him an excellent nature, wisdom, the power to choose between good and evil, and an immortal soul, he has also appointed him for a work and service great enough to employ these abilities, and has designed for him a state of life to which he can arrive only with service and obedience. The service of his holy house of the temple is no sinecure, and the practice of Masonic duty is no life of ease and indolent content in which one sees the evils and wrongs of the world and yet says, "Let it alone, it will last my day." Each Mason, were he but an apprentice, must have the right to put his hope in God, and that right he cannot have unless he so works as to deserve God's favor. Brother Schoenlaber, will you please stand? No, the other brother Schoenlaber. That was pretty fun. Talk about wanting to be the center of attention. Brother Schoenlaber, Brother William Schoenlaber, you have been appointed to the office of, or been appointed as chair and director of the work. It is your duty to supervise all degrees, all ceremonies, and other issues in which the use of ritual or product of the rite is being presented. I must add that is a thankless duty, as people never show up for practice, don't remember their lines, and otherwise just screw things up. It shall be your duty, however, to practice patience. and present our degrees and rituals with civility and to the best of your ability. Thank you. That one I just pretty well laid out. All the officers will please rise. Brethren, the progress and advancement of the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite will hereafter in this valley depend chiefly upon you and your successors. This is the age of political economy, individualism, material interest, speculation, overreaching, and servitude to man. Simple ideas of a brotherhood which require no sacrifice and of a morality in which there is nothing new cannot move the world. The masonry of today cannot be inactive, fitful, or ill-directed action toward no object worthy of great toil and great sacrifice. Masonry is on trial, with the work for a judge and ages as jurors. It may be that other great epoch is approaching, which will profoundly affect the destiny of the human race. An immense field or arena of action lies open to the Scottish Rite Masonry, inviting it to assume the apostolate of civil and religious liberty and human brotherhood. It is for you, my brethren, each in his proper sphere, to arouse Masonry to a sense of the great and grand part that Masons ought to play in the world's affairs, and of the necessity for united effort. Each of you will place your right hand over your heart and repeat after me. I solemnly promise and vow.
I solemnly promise and vow
That I shall bear true faith and allegiance.
that I shall bear true faith and allegiance
To the Supreme Council
to the
to the Supreme Council
of the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry.
of the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry,
And that I shall, to the best of my ability,
and that I shall, to the best of my ability,
perform the duties of the office
perform the duties of the office
with which I have been invested.
with which I have been invested.
So help me God.
So help me God.
You may lower your hands. In the name of the God of loving kindness and under the auspices of the Supreme Council of the Inspectors General of the 33rd degree of the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry for the Southern jurisdiction of the United States of America, Mother Council of the world, do proclaim that the officers who stand before us are duly installed. Congratulations to you all, and may God speed in the great work in which you have undertaken. Ladies and gentlemen, oh, yeah. Right.
Any master's remarks?
Pardon me?
Any master's remarks?
Yeah. And then I can talk again. I like it. Because nobody ever gets to talk. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, I'm going to have each master of their lodge stand up and say a few words. Starting, of course, with the Lodge of Perfection. Honorable Rob.
Yes, sir. A few words.
A few words.
Ah.
I like it.
Thank you for doing the installation today.
You're welcome. I'm pleased and proud to do so.
Well, having been sitting up here on these different seats, it humbles you with what the job in each one is. And it's just a great feeling to be here. Like Matt do. Now that guy intimidates you when he walks up. He's big and he scowls. Anyway, thank you for doing this for us. I'll do my best to live up to the job. Turn over this guy.
My turn?
Your turn.
Very good. Well, I appreciate you all for coming, and we're gonna have a good year, I hope. And I didn't prepare anything to say, I didn't know I was supposed to say anything, so we're gonna have a good year. So
I'll say.
that's all I have.
Joseph Schoenlaber.
Thank you. As commander of Kadash, I've discussed with our Kadash team, and the degrees of the Kadash are 19 through 30, which so happens to be 12. So, it's emblematic of the 12 of the year. And we discussed the concept of discussing briefly a degree each month. And so just little educational tidbits about a particular degree, so we can just kind of remind ourselves of that experience we had when we first became Scottish Rite.
Thanks for showing us up.
Brother Jay.
Thank you everyone for coming. To tell you honestly, I really don't know why I'm here. I just found out I was installed, but rest assured I will do my duty and abide whatever task will give it to me. Thank you.
A few more words. Congratulations to you all, and I know that you'll do the Scottish Rite proud. A few things. first off, that we have a few things coming up. In March, I believe, we have an open house at our Children's Language Center on March the 3rd at 11 o'clock. I'd encourage each and every one who is interested to please come and visit and tour the facility, listen to the clinicians and the students that are supervised as to what they do at the Language Center. It's really, truly fascinating. On March the 21st is the annual Shamrock Festival. We, of course, have a new location. It's going to be at the Alumni House at University of the Pacific. So they actually agreed to let me in. I'm kind of surprised, but they did. We have to pay for security, though. So anyway, no, it'll be a fun event. And, of course, that benefits the Children's Language Center, which is, of course, our primary philanthropy. Not to be outdone by our Almoner's Warehouse, which is run by Richard Garcia. He does a great business, and basically we loan out medical equipment to the citizens of Stockton. There we go, and elsewhere, as well as receive donations. It is strictly a donation-only venture. So anytime that you can encourage someone to contribute to the Almoner's Warehouse, it would be greatly appreciated. Also, he looks for volunteers. Once he gets going again, I know that we're kind of at a stalemate at this point, but once he gets going, he needs someone to help man the office so he doesn't have to be there all the time. He is retired, he says. I don't believe it, but he is. So by all means, please feel free to volunteer and help. We all could use that, and it's a good sense of purpose. This year, I know that we're a little befuddled, as you know, our temple has undergone a problem. We kind of consider ourselves like Noah, but my ark building skills are really lax. However, our primary duty is to keep the valley in shape. Try to continue those things that we have always done and keep us together, but not be afraid to try new things. Sometimes they work. Sometimes we'll fall flat on our face. I'm good at that. And but those things that do work then become new traditions. And we should strive to try to do that. Because to rely on the old all the time makes us stale and all of a sudden not very interesting. That being said, I want to thank everyone for coming, and I have now said my many few words, and if there's anyone else that would like to say anything, please do, but otherwise, we can be excused.
Illustrious sir.
Yes.
I don't really want to say it, but would you like to speak on a new event that we are joining another group?
Oh, yeah, that's
in
right.
March? Busy March.
Yeah. How could I possibly forget? Yes. March is busy. Not only will the leadership of your lodge be traveling to Las Vegas to learn about leadership. Right. Anyway, we'll be learning about leadership and things of that nature. But also on March the 28th, for the first time, the Stockton Valley is joining with the Sacramento Valley and hosting the Setting Mall Dinner. What is the Setting Mall Dinner, you ask? Well, it's a dinner. No, the Setting Mall event is an event which honors the Masons that were raised in the prior year, along with their city masters at that time. This is a time to which you are actually recognized as a Master Mason and somebody that belongs to your valley or to your lodge. You're obviously encouraged to join your local valley, but there's no arm twisting there, that's later. So, at any rate, but you get a chance to meet the Grand Master and listen to some other events that are going on. This is our first time hosting with the Sacramento Valley, who does a great event. We're hoping to expand it to lodges here in the valley. So you masters, or even those that have just been raised, pay attention and, by all means, be our guest, because dinner's on the house for you guys. Everybody else has to pay. So, anyway, but by all means, please join us. And I want to thank illustrious Balbiani and Honorable Perry for including us in this event. It's a great event. I've attended it several times, but now I'm really excited to be part of it. In August, also be mindful that we are actually hosting a presentation of the Masonry and how it was involved in the Declaration of Independence, celebrating the 250 years of which the Declaration of Independence has been in existence. We will have 3 speakers. One is the most worshipful John Cooper from here in the area. Also, there is a speaker from back east and another one from Great Britain, I believe, right? So watch out for some information on that, and please join us. That being said, did I cover it all now? Okay. All right. There are a few guests here, of course, that I'd like to introduce. First and foremost, the personal representative of the Sacramento Valley, illustrious Mario Balbiani.
Thank you, illustrious. We've partnered now for several years in the Tri-Valley Reunion in Sacramento, which is in November, because we had the facility to do it, right? It's been a great event. There might be even some guys in the building here who went through that class this last year. It was a fun event. It generates a lot of energy, and there's multiple valleys involved. We've had a lot of ongoing discussions with Roger and Steve, and that's how we got to, and the fact that Stockton has supported the Setting Mall dinner for quite a few years. A lot of members from Stockton Valley come up there for that event, so we decided why not try it together. Get a private time with the Grand Master to introduce him. It's a kind of we're doing a baseball theme this year. It's opening weekend. So we're gonna do real formal. Your ball cap and your favorite jersey for your favorite team. Okay, so it's kind of more of a relaxed atmosphere. You'll be recognized, and we appreciate that. The event that illustrious was referring to in August is Dr. Rex Berman from England, flying over. Susan Walters, I believe it is. Yes. She's coming from the East Coast. She's a professor back there, and obviously most worshipful John Cooper will be the other speaker. It'll be a fun day. We'll share the information. That again is kind of is a Tri-Valley thing. It's being sponsored by Stockton Valley, Santa Rosa Valley, and Sacramento. We think this working together thing is working for us. It generates a lot of enthusiasm in our valleys, and we want to help everybody grow stronger and better. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, illustrious. I would also like to introduce the General Secretary of the Valley of Sacramento, Honorable Mike Perry. Past potentate for the year of 2021, the Honorable, or excuse me, illustrious Bill West. And I would like to thank, of course, the Honorable Steve Haubert for all of his assistance in today's ceremony, even though he's hobbling around on a sore foot. Honestly, I think he's milking it, but you know. Anyway, that being said, thank you all for coming. And by all means, check in with us to see how it is that you can participate in the Stockton Valley. Thank you all. Yeah, don't show up for a meeting. Yeah, don't show up for a meeting. You'll be volunteered.
Pictures.
Yep, pictures. Yeah, that's right.